We want to take you back out to Murrells Inlet, where the hurricane is still just miles off the coast. But Nicole, you've been watching this closely, and you can see this picture right here. Hard to see anything. This is getting closer and closer. Where is it now?
You know, the storm itself is still about 60 or so miles to the southeast of Charleston at this point. So Murrells Inlet, nearly 100+ miles still from the storm. And it's going to get worse in areas near Murrells Inlet by this afternoon. So if you're already seeing images like that, it will worsen in the hours ahead. The storm is still holding Category 3 strength with 115-mile-per-hour winds. That northeastward movement has now started, so it's no longer making its way closer to the coastline, but now almost parallel, and that will be what sticks around now for the next really 24 hours before it skirts off North Carolina's coast tomorrow morning and eventually farther out into the northeast seas of the Atlantic. So for now, we just continue watching our coastline get battered with wind and rain. Rainfall favoring that western side of the storm, which is a little abnormal in a hurricane setup. Usually we see that eastern side a little farther out to sea with more rainfall, but it's just battering the coastline. We have seen major flood concerns already with warnings in place. And look at this. The Charleston area shaded in green here, showing over 3.5 inches of rain so far. Places up near Myrtle Beach just inland seeing anywhere from 5 to 7+ inches of rain already today. And this number will go up significantly by the afternoon as Myrtle Beach is still in line to see a lot more of that activity by the time the day wraps up. Rain right now, not even the biggest concern. Horry County, really over the North Myrtle Beach Airport region, now under a tornado warning on top of a flash flood warning. These alerts go until 9 o'clock for the tornado concerns and 10 o'clock for those concerns of flooding. And up into North Carolina, we're seeing the Sneads Ferry area under a tornado warning as well, almost to Jacksonville, North Carolina. These concerns keep coming as rain bands make their way on shore. Also watching the Charleston area down to Seabrook Island and up to about McClellanville for another flash flood warning that sticks around until 10:15. So these concerns just keep growing throughout the day. And Isaac, the winds are a growing concern as well.
Yeah, they've been at tropical storm force strength now for hours and hours and hours. Savannah still gusting to 44 miles per hour this morning, over 50-mile-per-hour winds out toward Charleston. We'd show you Hilton Head, but their wind sensor right now is not working. But looking at wind potential today, it's lower out in Hilton Head, which is good news, but starting in just west of Charleston over into areas of Florence along I-95, tropical storm force winds are likely. As we get closer to the coast, we haven't seen them yet, but as the center of Dorian gets a little closer, hurricane force winds are possible, which are basically winds above 74 miles per hour. Here's 7 o'clock. Futurecast right on the money with the position of Dorian. By midday today, Charleston, it's not getting any better. Myrtle Beach still hanging on to more of a intermittent rain and wind chance. It's not until this afternoon that conditions really go downhill for the Myrtle Beach and Georgetown and Pawleys Island, Surfside areas, and that will slowly work its way north and east toward Wilmington by 7 and 8 p.m. this evening. But by sunset, we're still not out of the woods in Myrtle Beach, and for that matter, Charleston as well. It's not going to be until the overnight hours that we can completely clear the South Carolina coast. This is midnight. Conditions improving for Charleston, a little bit better in Myrtle Beach, but certainly the worst of the weather should be working its way over toward the Wilmington area. And then by tomorrow morning near Morehead City, and then by daybreak, we're looking at some of that activity getting closer to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And then finally, it's out to sea later on in the day. Winds this morning are a little breezy, and we expect them to stay that way today. But outside of any 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts, we're not expecting anything stronger. Mostly cloudy, a small chance of rain today at 87 degrees, 86 in the mountains. So again, we've been baking in kind of the heat recently. We get a slight break today as we get closer to Friday and the weekend, though we're back toward 90 degrees with a lot of sunshine. Next week, some extra clouds built in toward Tuesday and Wednesday as a few showers become possible.